Oi, punters, this one video shows us Australians for what we really are. Let's be honest, look in the mirror. We are a nation of dibber-dobbing Karens with infinite amounts of rules and punishments for us for minor things and free reign for foreign corporate bludgers. Let's watch the video. All right, punters, in classic news-style channel, and news doesn't cover anything that important, Channel 10 has brought up the ultimate thing that Aussie Karens love. People breaking rules. Look at this. This is someone's dash cam footage. And it's hard to see, but he's got this number plate that essentially has a curtain that goes up and down. So it's blocked at the moment, and then it opens and they've blurred the number plate. So this bloke is going through toll roads with blocking his number plate and then opening it again and dodging tolls, right? And then some freaking Karen has taken their dash cam footage and Crime Stopped it all and uploaded it to the police or whatever. So this bloke is screwed, all because some bloody Karen dobbed them in, which I think this bloke, Aussie hero. And the comments, 30,000 on snitch, 7,000 likes, Australia, the land of snitches. Honestly, it's true. It's absolutely true. We love rules and we love to dob on people who don't want to follow stupid rules. Oh, Conrad, but that's theft. You're stealing from the toll companies. Let me give some context that Channel 10 will never give you about who, in fact, this Aussie hero is stealing from. And you decide whether maybe he is Robin Hood or some criminal stealing from some hardworking billionaire. The company that they're stealing from is Transurban. And guess how much tax Transurban have paid in the last 5 to 10 years? Well, Michael West has been following this dodgy bloody company for so long. This article's in 2020. I think I've spoken about it before. Toll behemoth pays no tax and controls 18 toll roads. Might even be more toll roads by now, but not one red cent paid in tax over the last 5 years. This was in 2020. Well, it racked up 11 billion in revenue. Now, the revenue that this company gets, let's just remember this is revenue from public assets, our roads. The government privatized these public assets, sold them off to foreign investors. They make $11 billion on this, so it must be pretty profitable, but they pay no tax. And they do it, if you want to look at the boring, complex way, and they do it. Transurban is a stapled security trust, pays no tax. They lease the billing stuff, and then the roads are built with this other company, and all the debts, I think it was like 20 billion in debts or something, sits with the other company. So that company somehow never makes any of the money, so it never pays tax. But this one over here is a stapled trust that doesn't pay tax and ships the money off to their shareholders who might pay tax. I don't know. If that money is eventually taxed in this complex arrangement, it might be somewhere below 15%, according to Westy here. Honestly, I don't care. That's a public asset. We should be getting the money for that, and they should definitely bloody be paying taxes. It's pretty simple. Wait, are you subbed to the channel? Yeah, unfortunately, it's not enough these days. YouTube algorithm kind of not doing me any favors. So if you hit the bell icon, and honestly, if you want to keep seeing these videos I put out, you can sign up to the mailing list, because Big Tech can't censor your email just yet. Anyway, back to it. Recent update in 2024, Transurban did pay tax, apparently. Took $2 billion in toll revenue for just half a year alone, so they might be on $4 billion in toll revenue a year, which is a lot of money. But when it comes down to it, they got a tax benefit. So according to Westy, they're still roughly stiffing us. All these LinkedIn bros that are paid to do apologetics for these guys, be like, it's a staple trust, you just doesn't understand how it goes. I don't care, mate. I don't care. I pay tax. These bludgers should pay tax. And if there's a rule that allows them to do this, I want it bloody changed, because it's a joke. So why does the government take a public asset, privatize it, sell it to offshore investors to make billions while we get stiffed? These are what's called public-private partnership. Ultimately, a private operator finances, builds, and maintains the road. In return, they have the right to collect tolls, because they're saying they get to avoid the massive upfront cost of spending and shifts construction risks onto the firms. Because of the success of the BS story of government debt bad, governments now go, oh, well, let's get private funding to build these roads. And what we get is we get taxed twice. We pay our tax for normal roads and everything, and then we pay our tax to a private corporation that doesn't even pay tax. So when you pay tax, as much as you hate, and I hate paying tax, that money goes to the government. That government spends it back on us. Hospitals, schools, roads, buildings, whatever it is at least coming somewhat back to us. Money that is paid to Transurban leaves us and is never, ever, ever to return. It's a tax, but a private corporation gets the legal right to tax us to use something that is normally a public good. Also, the government can say, oh, we're not in government debt. Now, this is a dumb story for many reasons, but if these blokes are making $8 billion, $11 billion from charging tolls, then it can be a pretty good investment. So probably we, the government, should just build the roads ourselves, and we all can bank all of those savings by not having tolls. But at the end of the day, they do these public-private partnership deals. The government is so piss weak at negotiating these contracts. They negotiate the contracts, other long concessions allow annual toll increases in line with inflation, or 4%, whichever is higher. So inflation right now, I think, is below 4%. So they are legally allowed, because the government let them, increase the toll prices by more than inflation every single year. So every single year, driving is going to get more and more and more expensive. And the worst thing about these toll roads is that it is essentially a tax on poor people, because rich punts can afford the rich expensive real estate closer into Sydney or Melbourne or wherever it is. They get great public transport, and there's no toll roads in there because it's all paid for. But if you live out in the Western Sydney, you live out there, you have to take a toll road to get to work on time, and you've got to leave at 5 a.m. or whatever it is. So you're spending, like this lady here, $150 a week on tolls. On tolls, right? Rich people don't have to do that. They hop out their beautiful apartment and they walk down. So tolls are a tax on poor people, which is why we have them, because rich people would never allow it if they were the ones having to pay the tolls every single day, but they're not. Oi, this video is brought to you by me, Punters Politics. If you want to support the channel and keep doing what I'm doing, you can go to punterspolitics.com, pick yourself up a t-shirt or something like that. Really helps anyway. Back to it. They're monopolies. There's little competition. It can take poor people's 10 to 20% of their income. Tolls are the dumbest idea. And then in Victoria, unpaid tolls can be converted into state-enforced fines. So the state and our rules and our cops are going into bat and using our laws and legal system to enforce rules for a private corporation. Private corporations don't have the right to use the police to enforce a fine or something. But in Victoria, they pretty much do. With all that context in there, is this number plate idea really such a bad idea? Goes under the toll road, oh, we're finished, number plate comes back out. Now, obviously, because these are illegal, you should definitely not go to the website here, 510autogroup.com. Do not go to this website, because they have this number plate curtain for Australia, and you should not put this on your car to avoid paying a dodgy corporation, no matter how dodgy they are. I think it's around 280 Australian dollars again, which is not cheap. So let's just do the maths of something you should definitely not do because it's illegal. So if you get fined, it's $562 plus the number plate, which is like 280. So you're at $842 if you get caught. And if this lady here is spending $150 per week on tolls, 150. Let's say she doesn't go to work every year. Let's say she does it 40 weeks of the year. She's spending $6,000 on tolls if she has to commute every week. So you could spend around $800 if you get caught and potentially save yourself $5,000. You could spend $6,000 to a company that doesn't pay tax. You shouldn't do it because it's definitely illegal. Do not go to the website 510autogroup.com and pick yourself one up like that. Now, if you do go against my advice where I'm explicitly saying do not go to the website 510autogroup.com, there will almost certainly be a Karen out there to dob you in, and it's going to get more and more like this. Australia is going to become more and more the self-policing surveillance state as everyone has cameras on their cars, as everyone has dash cams, and more states are introducing what the ACT has just done. This is 2024. 25 drivers have been fined as a result of dash cams. So these Karens here are driving around looking for other people breaking little tiny little rules that don't endanger anyone and don't hurt anyone. And they go, that's illegal. I'm going to send that footage to the police. And then the police get the footage and go, yep, that's correct. That's illegal. Here's another fine, more revenue away from the everyday Aussie punter. So yeah, once again, punters, do not go and purchase one of these and install it on your car to potentially save yourself $5,000 a year if you're in Western Sydney. If you're a punter Karen out there, all I would say is, whose bloody team are you on? Because there's plenty of rules for us, but it is absolutely open season for foreign corporations in this country, which I am not a fan of. So let's just remember, Transurban, absolute tax bludgers. Every time you pay a toll, it's worse than you think. Anyway, massive thanks to We the Punters over on Patreon. These are the punters that keep me making the videos that I think are important, like this one, and not just the ones that get the clicks. Feel free to share this with a punter who might not know just how scammed we're getting, because bloody hell, this YouTube algorithm is kicking me in the balls, but that's okay because of the Patreon punters over there. Anyway, I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers, punts.